Okay, so we're back again today, and what I'm going to do today on this bike here is I'm probably just going to put the battery in here, and then what I'll do is I'll turn the bike over. Hopefully it'll crank over, and I need to get some of the oil up on the top end because this bike has sat for so long. There's no gas in the gas tank. These are polymer nylon tanks, so you know I'm not worried about rust or anything. So what I'll do is I'll try to just get this battery on here, get this cranked over, and then we'll probably tilt the gas tank back and start looking at stuff. I don't know if I'll pull the gas tank today. I'm kind of limited on time. I just had to go to my mom's house and check on my little buddy Max. He finally had his eye removed and he's completely recovered. So, you know, he's pretty full of joy for having an eye removed. So that eye must have really bothered him. Yeah, let's get started here. And I've had the battery on the charger all night, so this should be real simple to do. And I'm pretty crunched for time, so I want to move forward on this. And what I did here was on this battery here, I cut a little bit of vacuum line so it gets these nuts for these battery posts up, so you don't have to mess with getting them lined up to get the screw in them. And it lifts the little tab up so you don't have to worry about it. That's a neat little trick that I learned from one of my other videos that I made on upgrading the battery cables off my 2001 Aprilia Mille. And we'll go ahead and get this battery, remove the key, and get this battery put in here. Now I will tell you, there's a lot more electrical connections here than what there should be. And I know that he had the tail light wired in different, and there's just an awful lot of wires, and there's an extra fuse in here that I'm not 100% sure what's going on here with this. So we'll just get this battery hooked back up. I just heard the dash turn on. And if I remember right, he told me he wired, and I'm not going to show you, he wired a safety switch in here so if somebody stole it, they wouldn't know how to start it up. And the fuel pump didn't kick on. He's right. It did not kick on at all. Okay. Well, since I've got the battery on here, we're gonna test all the lights out. I've got brake lights. So we've got We've got brake lights. Got turn signals. Got one turn signal. And turning this over, I just heard the relay click over. Like the fuel pump. Because the fuel pump will stop working and start working when you shut the engine off through the handlebar wires, through the controls on the right side. Okay. Well, we've got brake lights, we've got turn lights, so that's good on the electrical side. You know what I didn't check was the front brake light, and it works. So what I'm going to do now is pull these fuses. And you have two 30 fuses in here. So the relay's clicking for the fuel pump. So both my fuses are good. I think we'll just double check that the gas is empty here. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch the switch over that's hidden so you can't steal this motorcycle and see if we get this started. And I think we're going to go ahead and turn this key on and see. We will see if the bike's going to turn over. See, that's another thing that concerns me is this gas tank's empty and the fuel light isn't on. So all I'm doing here, I'm not trying to start the bike. What we're doing is we're gonna turn the engine over so we're getting oil to the top end of the motorcycle because this engine has not ran. And actually, I don't know if you can hear that. You could hear how dry the engine was when the engine was pulling over from the bike setting because there has been no oil run through this in such a long time. and it just quieted down. If I would have tried this and it would have fired up, you could have possibly have had engine damage from it. But now the oil's up in there. Just gonna turn it over. Hell, I might even kill the battery. You know what? I'm going to turn that switch off and see. I think we actually just burnt the starter relay up. So I am not 100% sure on what's going on here with all this stuff. This appears that it's going to be more than just a fuel pump issue. And I literally just melted the relay onto the starter. That's what the smoke was. Now why did it do that? I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do here is I've got this relay moved up, and I might have just burned the starter or the relay out of it. One trick here I'll go ahead and show you. If you were ever going to steal a motorcycle and you could get the power turned onto it, this is how you would jump start it. Now we're not going to do the starter, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of metal here and we're going to connect these two posts together. Well, the starter isn't done, but I believe this relay is. There's more going on here in the electrical system than I thought. So I'm pretty sure that I just fried that relay, because it's still clicking, but it's like it's not going through its connection. So something got too hot and it started smoking. But why it did that, I'm not 100% sure. So what's probably going to happen here is I'm probably going to remove some of this wiring stuff and go back to the original wiring equipment and start fresh on that. So I'm gonna have to end up making a parts list and then going from there, you know, to bring it back to how it was supposed to be, because there's just all kinds of, there's a box on the back of here that I think is the Evolution advanced spark plug stuff. And then there's probably different coils, because in the last video we went through, it had different coil boots and wires. So what I want to do is I just want to get this bike back to original. And actually I thought I was going to walk away, but I'm not. This is going to drive me bonkers if I don't know what's going on here. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to spend the extra time here, and we're going to just remove the, we're not going to remove. We're just going to lift this gas tank up so I can take a peek at what's going on here a little bit farther. I should be able to see the ignition cables, the coils and the coil wires to the spark plugs. And then when I prop this tank open, I'll also get a peek at the air box and see what's going on with the air box, because I'm almost betting that the air box is an open air box. Which, if this is an open air box and the EPROM chip was never changed, just because this is an R model bike doesn't mean that you put the open air box on it and it's going to run properly. And I had a 2001, so I might have to remove the side. No, I'm not going to have to. It's got the factory air box in it. I'll take a look at that. These are Aprilia Racing carbon side panels. I don't believe these were standard with the R model. The person that owned this bike had some money. And right here you can see where he had upgraded the, I don't know if you can see that. We've got different color spark plug boots and wires. What you can actually see here is that's an Evolution, that's your fuel pressure. He told me he was just adjusting the fuel pressure regulator, and I think that's what he thought burned the fuel pump out, and that makes total sense, putting too much fuel pressure. But there should be some kind of fuel pressure to see a gauge in here somewhere, and I have not seen one yet, so it's hard to believe that you would just put that on there without a gauge. So I just don't have the time to deal with it today. So thanks for watching. Check the links below. Amsoil, as always, dealer number 5541460. I'll be back. I should be back next week when I get some time and hopefully get a list made up, and we'll just go from here. But Thank God I didn't blow the starter. So it's got some issues where the fuel pump isn't working, and there's apparently some kind of short of some sort in the system that's causing all this. So we'll see what happens.